here. Are they showing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me give you guys a breakdown of what we are about and what we do here at the Center for Independent Living. We are an excellent resource for any person with a disability from ages 14 to as old as you can get. Um, Basically, our mission is to offer assistance to people with disabilities in fulfilling goals of independence and self sufficiency, much like our name implies, Center for Independent Living. We Let me just put this on slideshow. Here's a bit of our overview. We were incorporated, this particular office in Fort Lauderdale was incorporated in 1991. Uh, we have over 20 staff members. We also have a satellite office in the Gulf Coast area in Fort Myers. We have served over 100,000 consumers since we were incorporated. Please note that our staff members, a majority of our staff members actually have disabilities. And I believe strongly this is what sets us apart as an organization serving the disabled population. Um, by federal statute, Centers for Independent Living are required to have 51% of, or more of their staff to have disabilities, and that also goes for our board of directors. 51% or more of our board of directors also need to have a significant disability to meet federal statutes. So I'm going to get into some of the services we provide that are specific to a lot of the staff having disabilities, that shared experience. Just a quick breakdown. Title VII of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973 established independent living services and centers for independent living programs. If anyone wants to look up a fun YouTube video, you can look up the Capitol Crawl. And the Capitol Crawl, some of the things they were advocating for did result in the creation of centers for independent living. We aim to empower individuals. That is our main goal in everything we do. We we actually serve all disabilities, physical, mental, cognitive, any disability. That's our only requirement. You don't even need to provide us with documentation to receive services from our center. As long as you tell us you have a disability, we go by, I guess, an honor system, and we'll take your word for it. Uh, we are state and federal partnership. There's 16 centers for independent living across Florida. We're consumer controlled. So what that means again is that persons with disabilities make up greater than the majority of the employees and also our board of directors. We maximize leadership, empowerment, and independence and productivity for all our consumers. And in everything we do, we want to work on the goal of full inclusion of persons with disabilities into mainstream American society. There's no judgment here. I have disabilities myself. I'm one of the staff that has disabilities, and we really pride ourselves on that service we can provide. So here is a quick map. This is the state of Florida. This is the list of all the CILs across the state of Florida. If anyone happens to be moving, any of the parents here, please know that you can access a Center for Independent Living anywhere in the state of Florida. In fact, anywhere in the United States, all 50 states. Every county in the United States is designated to have a CIL covering that county. This website right here, www.ilru.org. This website, you can type in your zip code and find the Center for Independent Living closest to you. I assume most of the folks here are Broward, but I just want to let you know in case you moved, there are centers for independent living in every county in the United States. This just illustrates the 16 that are in the state of Florida. My office, the CIL of Broward, we also administer the CIL Gulf Coast and Fort Myers. Half of our staff work in Fort Myers, so we are a pretty big SIL. Most SILs only cover one area, but my SIL happens to cover multiple areas. These are the 5 core services. This is really important. Information and referral. So a lot of you folks who have questions about disability related topics, I've heard some questions. Our SIL is staffed with folks who can help you answer those questions. If it's a VR question, an APD question, an accessible housing question, a pre-ETS, youth transition related service question, we can answer those. We also refer to a ton of different disability related companies within Broward County. If you call 211 and say you have a disability related question, they will probably route you to the Center for Independent Living of Broward, and that's a big portion of what we do, answering just basic questions, information, and referral about disability related topics. We want to make sure folks, especially given that the staff have disabilities, a lot of them are on Social Security themselves. We want to make sure we're giving the best possible information to help them navigate what can be a lot of times very tricky, convoluted circumstances where everything's not quite clear. One of our second core services is independent living skills training. Right now, we are doing that through webinars that we have twice a week on different topics. We also partner with vocational rehab. We are certified to provide self-advocacy. That's our third core service, individual and systems advocacy. So what that means is if you're having any trouble with a disability related legal issue or entity issue, we are here to provide support as advocates. You obviously have to come in, tell us what's going on. We have to see, if it's relevant, and we always try our best to help. So that's one of our other core services. We also do peer counseling. That's what I was touching on about more than half of the staff having disabilities. We can offer that peer-to-peer support. And then our 5th core service is transition from a nursing home, and then also assisting youth. That would be the pre-employment transition youth services. We have a huge pre-employment transition youth services. I know the topic of this webinar tonight was post-secondary options and resources. So we have a really big youth transition program at CIL. We have over 4 staff members working in that program specifically. So if you have any pre-ETS questions, even related to an IEP or vocational rehab, we can offer assistance. Obviously, we're not Broward County Schools, we're not VR, but we can point you in the right direction given the knowledge that we have. Here is a little bit about our youth transition services. We have a program called High School High Tech. This is funded through the Able Trust of Florida. This program gives college and career exploration, and it's for high school age students. We have a certain set of high schools we work with for this program. So unfortunately, if your student or child does not fall within the parameters of the High School High Tech program, we might not be able to get them into that program. But I believe we have 14 to 16 schools that we partner with for High School High Tech. We also have a Career Source Broward out-of-school youth program. This is a great program. If your child is not in school, we can offer career preparation. The age range for that one, I believe, is about 18 to 23, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me. but it's a great program. That program offers career preparation as well as some educational advice. We also do career camps with vocational rehabilitation. We have different topics. We've done a fitness one, we've done a transportation one, where we took all of our students and taught them how to navigate the Broward County bus system. We went with them to the bus stops and showed them how to get around. That was one of our career camps. This past spring break, we did a culinary camp where we taught our consumers how to cook. And again, they were age 14 to 22. We did another one, an independent living geared camp where we taught them how to iron, how to do some activities at home that promote independent living. Both of those camps were a huge success. If you are interested in those camps, your VR counselor, even if your case is just a pre-ETS, pre-employment transition, potentially eligible case, they should be emailing you, letting you know about the option for your student or your child to participate in that camp. They do get filled up fast, so I do encourage you, if you do get the email from your counselor, to register as soon as possible. This summer, we have 2 career camps, one for performing arts careers and another for, I believe, I can't remember what the second topic is, but we try to change it up. We might do the culinary one again, because that was a huge hit. We taught our students how to cook eggs, bacon, pancakes, grilled cheeses, just basic stuff using a burner stove. And also we help them recognize how to read recipes, because a lot of that stuff comes with comfort and experience. So the more experience your students or children can get, the better prepared they are to work in careers in culinary, or even just do better at home with helping family. Let me move on to the next slide. So we do have a housing program at the Center for Independent Living. Our housing program consists of information and referral. We can help guide you to resources that are available for housing for persons with disabilities. That's our primary function. We have a whole guide that's about 10 pages we can provide. Unfortunately, I'm not able to share it publicly. You do have to give us a call and reach out to us for me to share that. But if you, at the end of this presentation, I am going to drop my contact information in the chat. And also, I will be here for the Q&A session if we're still able to have it given the time constraints. We do home assistive technology. We do automations such as Alexa. We do grab bars, shower bars. For anyone who uses a wheelchair, I've always been taught in my disability career they should have grab bars in their shower, and that's something we really try to help facilitate for our consumers. We coordinate with SHIP. This is a federal program, the State Housing Initiatives and Partnerships Program. We are able to provide accessibility improvements to homes. You do have to own the home in this program. It's a Broward County program. We also help link folks with Mainstream Voucher. If anyone didn't know, there is a program through HUD, Mainstream Voucher, where persons with disabilities can receive. It's not Section 8. It's not Section 8. This is only for persons with disabilities. It's called Mainstream Voucher, where you can receive 70% sponsorship in the rental cost. So the person would only have to pay 30% of their rent. There is a waiting list, but it is not as long as Section 8. And we are a partner with HUD and Mainstream Voucher, and we are a referral source. So if you come to our office, we can do the referral for you, get it sent to the appropriate entities and help facilitate that application. We have apartment complex partnerships. We partner with apartment complexes that are accessible. We also do roommate match. So for anyone with maybe some older children or later, please consider this if they are trying to live independently and perhaps need a roommate to live in these skyrocketing costs in South Florida. We do have a roommate match program. And then we also have a senior housing specialist on staff. She is a realtor and she can provide one-on-one support. You just have to call, get a case going, and we will help you work on those goals as a part of our independent living plan. This is a little blurb on our housing and ADA accessibility partnership. We basically, what we do, we work with Broward County, as I mentioned, the SHIP program. We also work with the City of Hollywood. We work on installation of wheelchair ramps. If anyone here needs a wheelchair ramp installed in their home, please give us a call. We have funding for that, and we can help with that portion of accessible housing. Grab bars, like I said, in the shower, in the bathroom. We have other accessibility equipment and devices available that we can sponsor. And then we also work with local businesses. One of the new things we're doing is ADA accessibility reports for different businesses. So let me move on to the next slide. I think I might see some stuff in the chat or something, but I will be available for Q&A. Independent living skills.
Sorry, Stephanie. We will save a little bit of time at the end for Q&A, but we still have 2 more presenters. So families, we probably won't open Q&A until around 7:15 this evening.
Okay. I'm almost done. Some of these topics I've covered. So we do our webinars on Zoom for independent living skills. Please email me if you're interested in having your child participate in these, or even you yourself. But we promote independent living at CIL, consumer first. And we do want your children or perhaps adult children to be actively engaged. It's one of the most important things we promote at this agency, hence the name Center for Independent Living. Quick touch on vocational rehab. We are a vendor of vocational rehabilitation. I personally used to be a senior vocational rehab counselor for 3 years, so I'm super familiar with VR. So that's kind of why I'm in this role at CIL. But some of the programs we partner with vocational rehab on are pre-ETS career camps, like I was mentioning. We also do employment services job coaching. For some of your students who are still in school, there's WBLE, like Elizabeth mentioned. And then we also do job coaching, supported employment, and OJT. For our consumers, we also do trial work experiences. Trial work is pretty rare with VR, but if you were in an instance where VR said your child might be too severe to work and they needed to do trial work, CIL Broward can provide trial work. We also do WIPA, a Social Security benefits consultation, which I'm going to talk about, and we also do rehab technology, which I'm going to talk about. So again, we do job coaching, we do supported employment, we do OJT, and we do WIPA. If any of these services are of interest to you, please do not hesitate to contact me, and I can guide you on if your child is eligible, or if there's any way I can help guide you through the VR process. WIPA, which stands for Work Incentives Planning and Assistance. We are identified by the Social Security Administration as a community partner to provide this service. It's a lengthy training you have to go through because Social Security is so complicated. And our WIPA person, our CP WIC, she is out of our Fort Myers office and does it remotely, but she's excellent. She walks you through the report after she submitted all the paperwork to Social Security and gives the consumer a complete picture on where they stand with how much they can earn in employment and how that would impact their Social Security benefits. Our CIL Technology Solutions program, this is our assistive technology rehab technology program through VR. We can help with assistive technology for work or school. In this picture, we have Dragon, which is speech to text. That's a software. We also have a pair of Orcam glasses. These are typically used for folks with vision loss. And I really want to highlight a new program. Really proud the CIL just established this partnership recently with Vocational Rehabilitation and USF, the contracted vendor for VR to provide rehabilitation engineering. It's called our Driver Simulation Training Program. Here is a picture of my coworkers sitting doing the virtual reality driver simulation. This program is available for folks who may be able to hit the brakes and gas themselves. We do have brakes and gas pedals. You can't see them in this picture. And then we can also help folks who are in wheelchairs. That seat can be pulled out, and a person with a wheelchair can come in and sit there and practice driving on the road through virtual reality. This is the highest tech option in the state of Florida. What you will learn, the participant would receive a full driving evaluation from an occupational therapist to determine their readiness for the road. You don't need a permit. You don't need a permit. You can come to this program without a permit. You get to learn the basics of vehicle operation, safety, and controls, and you practice operating a vehicle in a controlled environment. Obviously, virtual reality, this is state of the art. And our program is for anyone with a disability, physical or mental. We have a lot of folks with autism who come in and do this program because for whatever reasons they have trouble focusing on the road. So this virtual reality experience is low risk and can help give a picture or snapshot of how they might do with real on the road driver training. And I'll really try to speed this up. So we have a partnership with the state of Florida FAST, the Florida Alliance for Assistive Services and Technology. This is a snapshot of our AT studio on the left. This is our lower tech area on the right. We can provide any information you need on assistive technology, so give us a call. Assistive technology is basically any technology that will help a person with a disability overcome the barriers related to their disability. And we start with a needs assessment, and then we do demonstrations, short-term device loans where they can borrow the equipment at no cost. And we do training, including to parents, and we also help with the financial loans program, or if appropriate, we might try to link them with VR. Or different grants. So here's a picture of some of our assistive technology devices. I'm coming up on the end here. We have a wheelchair repair clinic once a month. If any of your children use a wheelchair, we provide wheelchair repairs at no cost once a month. With he's actually a vendor of VR, and he comes to our office once a month to do this. We just had it today. We had about 10 folks with their power chairs, regular chairs, doing repairs. It's free. And then really important, guys, if any of your kids need wheelchairs, walkers, canes, crutches, shower chairs, or commodes, the Center for Independent Living can provide them at no cost to you for free. So please contact me if you're interested in that. Here's our address. We're at Commercial and 441 on State Road 7 in the Headway Plaza, right next to Henderson. This is our main office. I'm going to drop this information in the chat, and here's my personal information, which I'm going to drop in the chat. Okay, thank you so much.
That's okay, parents, please take a screenshot of this, because Stephanie, in the chat, a lot of parents wanted more information, and they wanted to be able to receive information about all of your programs and then how to get in touch with you. So I really appreciate it. Parents, as you can see, the Center for Independent Living has so much to offer. So please reach out, do your research, and then Stephanie will also be on for the Q&A at the end. Now, thank you, Stephanie. Now I would like to introduce Larry from Happy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Wow.
Good evening. Okay.
Hi, that was a lot of stuff. I'm joined by my colleague, Barbara Slutsky, who is on our board of directors, and she'll be helping me with the presentation.
Hi, Barbara. Welcome.
Thank you. If we can start. Natasha?
So, Natasha, I do not see the presentation yet. Okay, we're trying to share it.
While she's doing that,
Here it is.
Here we go. Okay. So we are known as Happy. Happy stands for Helping Autistic Adults Perform and Excel. What we're about is creating opportunities for meaningful and sustainable employment for autistic people. Next slide, please. Natasha?
Parents, please mute your microphone so that we can hear Larry speak. And then Larry, if you could just speak a little bit louder, I'd appreciate it.
Sure, I'll be glad to. So I'm not one for reading slides, but I will tell you that a couple of important points is that we come from a point of view that people who are on the autism spectrum have unique abilities. They are not disabled people. They have unique abilities that can bring a lot to the community, to an employer, and we regard them as such. Interestingly enough, we're almost 9 years old. We're all volunteer. We're a 501c3, and we are in Broward County. Next slide, please. I'm going to go as quickly as I can to respect your time. So the problem we're trying to solve, there we go, is a supply-demand problem. There are many, many jobs that are going unanswered. We believe there is a group of people who are on the spectrum who can fill these jobs. And if you look at the left side of this chart, the numbers speak for themselves. If you look at only 18 to 60-year-old autistic people and realize that there are 1 in 36 births that are autistic, it suggests that there's somewhere between 5.5 and 8.5 million autistic people who could go to work. And interestingly enough, there are almost 10 million jobs in the United States that are up for grabs. And so how do we get a pathway to employment? I'll show you this several different ways. Number one is we need to find candidates who want to work. Secondly, we need to find employers who want candidates who are really outstanding employees. We then have multiple training programs and then provide support structures. Next slide, please. And why do we say that autistic people are uniquely suited for a multitude of careers? Well, they've got a bunch of unique abilities. And again, there are many of them listed here. Among the ones that are very important to an employer would be unbelievable focus, tolerant of repetitive activities, and their ability to be loyal, dedicated, and enjoy their work. In other words, they get high levels of retention and loyalty to the employer. And why that's important is the employer saves money. Next chart, please. And so we're not really describing a theoretical thing. I want to show you two cases of very high-tech kinds of work where people on the spectrum are performing incredibly well. One of them is in Medley at an organization called Summit Aerospace. Summit Aerospace is what is known as a maintenance, repair, and overhaul company. They refurbish aircraft parts to FAA standards. And the CEO of that company, and his quote is here, has hired 6 people on the spectrum to do all kinds of work, such as landing gears or avionics repair, or even inventory control and the like. And what he says, and this is why it's important for you all to understand that an employer could welcome an autistic worker. Here, this fellow, Jorge Fernandez, is saying, my autistic, he calls them his autistic kids. His autistic kids are 100% working, focused, loyal, while his other workforce of a couple of hundred people are very good, but he says they're 70 or 80%. So from his point of view, he's getting 25 to 30% more production, in other words, more profit by employing people who are autistic. Likewise, there's an organization, there are many, many organizations that employ people on the spectrum. This one happens to be a medical device business, and that medical device business has hired a dozen people to do something very sophisticated called computerized numeric control, CNC. Next chart, please. So how does this affect you as a parent and as a student? Well, we look at it as this transition. You need to understand your abilities. We can help get skills, and those lead to careers. Now, when we say skills, we see 3 different tracks to get skills. One is through the college higher education route. That typically leads to more white-collar administrative jobs. The second is in the technical trades, and there are many, many careers here. And we are advocates of this particular career path, but not solely this one, because there are so many jobs making so much money that this is worthwhile. And then there are a set of jobs where you don't need any training, and it's called OJT, on the job training. So what kind of jobs are we offering? What kind of training? Next slide, please. And so at the moment, we use a bunch of collaborative partners to offer these trainings. And as you can see, they're extraordinarily sophisticated. We can start at the bottom left with computerized numeric control. For those of you who don't know, CNC are these massive machines that use computer programming to stamp out extremely precise parts. We have got an offering in concert with an organization that employs over 100 people on the spectrum in Chicago to do software and quality assurance testing, making sure that things work. One of their clients is Bose, the speaker system, and their people test every conceivable combination that their Bose speakers can be attached to. There is a program that is administered at Broward College that provides 8 different certifications in supply chain and logistics management. And these kind of jobs are needed throughout Broward County, throughout the United States. There's a boutique program we have, and most of the kids we talk to want to do this one, which is commercial drone pilot or commercial drone observer. Frankly, the number of jobs open for that is not that great. As I mentioned before, we started with avionics at Broward College. Under development right now, we are working on an entrepreneurship program. And the reason for that, why we want to do entrepreneurship, is that candidly, many people on the spectrum don't want to work with other people and want to be their own boss. And so we are working on putting together an academy, which probably will start in the next 3 months, that will teach the nuts and bolts of how to be an entrepreneur. We're also developing a cybersecurity program, 2 different programs for AI itself and AI in supply chain for manufacturing. And so with that, I want to turn it over to my colleague, Barbara, who will be talking about the Happy Clubs and what you could do. So Barbara?
Okay, next slide, Natasha. Okay, this is a mentoring program that with Stacy Wolf's blessing, Happy was able to go into the Broward schools. Our first and only Happy Club at present is the one in Cypress Bay. And it has proven, it's been in existence for 4 or 5 years, but it has evolved to the point where it is recognizably a successful mentoring program for ESE students. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so what the Happy ESE program is you have the neurotypical high school students that comprise of the Happy Club, and they're ranging from the freshmen to the seniors, and they are collaborating with the ESE students. And just recently, they took on the project this past year, maybe the last 2 years, to work on the vision boards with them. Prior to this, it was with the ESE specialists who really didn't have the time to sit with the ESE student for that amount of time. But here's the beauty, is that it's peer-to-peer, and the Happy Club members are working with the ESE students and developing relationships, spending time with them to flesh out and identify their goals, which includes social skills, short and long-time goals, educational goals, and what their dreams are for the future. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, and to recap, as peers, the club members interact in a very special and unique way so that they are getting so much more out of these vision boards. And above and beyond the vision boards, they're gaining there's relationships that are building, there's understanding and acceptance. So these interactions foster lasting relationships, and they learn to recognize each other's value. So this to me is a microcosm of inclusivity and awareness and acceptance. So my goal and desire is to set up Happy Clubs starting with all the Broward high schools, or as many, I know it's one at a time, and to work to develop the ESE students and to develop the relationships. Because what starts and fosters in this little microcosm bleeds out into the real world. Okay, next slide, please.
It's the finale.
Okay, and that's it. It's promoting inclusivity, understanding, and appreciation. And I think this is an opportunity to create a lasting impact on anybody that's involved in that, on their lives. So that's both the Happy Club members and the ESE students. So I need help to get this launched. And I know Stacey.
We're going to help you.
Thank you.
We're going to help you. And we even have parents on who are saying, how can we replicate this at other schools? So it's definitely a goal of ours. So we appreciate that. We are going to open the floor now for our folks at our Adults with Disabilities program. And then if you guys will just stay on, because then we'll open the floor for our parents to be able to ask all of our presenters questions that are good for the group. And I apologize, parents, that this is going a little bit later than usual, but I really think it's important for you to hear this information. It's so valuable. So I'm going to pass the mic over to our wonderful folks at the Quest Center, Ms. Patricia Kujak.
Good evening. Somehow it froze. Can you see my screen?
No.
Okay. Okay, now you can.
Very good. We got it.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Let me just put share slideshow. All right. Okay, good evening. We are presenting.
Sorry, can you put your contact information again? I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, we will put everything at the end. Oh, okay.
Okay, good morning. My name is Ivy Pratt. I work at the Quest Center, but we're going to be talking about the Odyssey with Adults with Disabilities program today. What we're going to talk about is what is Odyssey? Who are we? We are a state-funded program affiliated with the CTASE. CTASE is a career technical adult and community education for adults with disabilities. CTASE has been around for over decades here, and we at the Quest Center are working and comparing with them. We're modeling with them. We also, who are Blinds and works with CTASE, is also Seagull and Rock Island that are affiliated with it. It also we also will be focusing on vocational training, self-advocacy, and independent living skills in our program. Our participants will be able to, we're going to be taken in at our Odyssey program. We are looking for our students to be independent toileting, maintain and adhere to expected behaviors, and if they can, at our program, they can attend every day, Monday through Friday, or they can attend 3 days a week or 2 days a week. The core services at our program is daily living skills, vocational training, job coaching, health and wellness support, and community integration.
Okay, so I just want to add that we are also including in the health and wellness support, we're including the mindfulness activities, gardening, and nutrition lessons.
Okay, and then also, Ms. Kujak, you're muted.
Sorry, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay, I'm sorry, don't know. All right, so our soft opening is we're aiming for August. We follow the Broward School calendar, which is August 11, and the hours are going to be from 8:30 to 2:30, and the location is at the Quest Center. As Ms. Ivy mentioned, we are seeking adults with functional life skills and training. So this program will provide hands-on career exploration, job readiness, community engagement, and transportation. It can be through TOPS, so your parents have to apply TOPS or a family transport. So here you can see a picture of the lab and the Quest Center. Well, the Odyssey program is at the Quest Center, but as Ms. Miller from APD Center mentioned before, the APD is for severe disabilities, severe students with severe disabilities. So here at the Odyssey program, we are looking for more independent adults because the Odyssey program has its own section. It's at the Quest Center, but it's independent entrance. We have independent lab, and you can see the lab. We are in the process of upgrading the appliances.
And we'll also be showing our students how the daily living skills there, helping them with maybe with making some simple meals, learning how to basically wash dishes, yes. Make a bed. And we're going to be doing a lot of independent skills that they're going to be working with, yes. Just to make it more independent for them at home.
All right. So, okay, here, please feel free to contact us. Also, if you have any questions, you can email us. We can send you an interest form, and you feel free to make also a tour prior to an appointment. And so you can see that the Odyssey program is a good fit for your adult child. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate this information, and families, this is a wonderful new program. A lot of our families are always looking for programs to work with their young adults who are aging out of our school system. And this is a wonderful new opportunity. So definitely look into that. And if you have any additional questions, if you want to know how to apply, this is a program that students do not need to have the APD waiver, correct, Ms. Kujak?
Correct.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Ms. Grant. I appreciate it. Sorry,
yes,
I didn't.
Yes, it's grant funded. It is not through with APD. So yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody presenting and staying on a little bit later this evening. I always want our parents to have the information. Knowledge is power. A lot of these resources and services are very confusing for families. So it's really important that we take the time to learn about all of the available programs and information. I'm now going to allow parents to ask the presenters questions. So if you can please raise your hand, and I will do my best to call on each of you individually. And please remember, these are questions that are